Top of the Saturday afternoon, everyone. This is the Wandering Yuki here with another edition of the Wandering Yuki Cheese Cafe, one-stop shop for everything related to microbrews, home renovations, cooking, barbecuing, microbreweries, and wanders through various parts of Montreal while recanting some stories. You may laugh, you may cry, you may shake your head in confusion, you may want to lock me up in a padded cell, and if I've done my job properly, you're feeling all of the above. So, if you recall in episode 101, I made reference to the Jacques Cartier bridge that's around here that connects the Montreal South Shore to the Montreal Island. And despite the little bit of rain I'm getting here, I figured I wanted to do this walk today just for the heck of it here. And it'll give me some chance to share a few stories along the way and share some of the history. We'll figure out where I'm going to be ending up afterwards too, like what beverage I'm going to be having. So let's get to this. Oh yes, and before we do that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, because it'll give you some updates whenever I post a new video. I'm doing a lot of good stuff these days, especially short little videos. So I'm going to be going up these flights of stairs. This bridge has 2 lanes for pedestrians technically. There's this one here that's going to be a bit more narrow, and on the other side of this bridge is going to be a double lane, mostly for cyclists who want to bike across. Some people are probably stupid, because even on the pedestrian side, they're still going to be biking along there, and they're going to honk at you like, hey, get out of the way, like it's my fault that I'm in the right lane and they're in the wrong one. So let's get to this now. Ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's stairs here. More stairs. Seems to be a recurring theme in my videos these days. Oh, if nothing, I can say I'm not getting my share of exercise for today. This will work off whatever beer belly I probably develop, and then some. Yeah, so I could see where the issue is. Like, if you were to look up north, there's a dividing line to go between the pedestrian side and the cyclist side. So I'm guessing people are just lazy and they're going to keep going up on this way with their bikes. Oh, there we go, keep going up. I hope no bikes get in my way. Alright, oh boy, quite the flight of steps. At least I wasn't an idiot like the last time and ran up those stairs. I'm now right at the lane where we're supposed to go to the bridge. So now you get a pretty good view of Ronde around here. As beautiful as Ronde can be. I don't see much else over here. Malls, University of Sherbrooke is around here. Alright, now time to get this walk going. It's a good thing I got this mic now. If I didn't have this mic, the sounds of all these cars probably would have drowned out the sound of my voice. And the whole draw of this is to hear my pretty voice, be able to recount stories. Yeah, there's my bad joke out of the way. So I'm making my way here. I should be, well, I'll give you a bit of background as I get along to the areas. This part of the fence here with the curve didn't always used to exist. I think this was actually a development within the last 20 years or so, I would say. Or a little bit sooner than that. That's the way to keep people from jumping off this bridge, because sad thing is it has happened before. But let's not get too heavy here. Let's keep going on the walk. Ew, gross. I'd say this is looking bad for the St. Lawrence seabed, but I don't know how much of a seabed is left. Probably nothing but junk and raw sewage I was dumped in here. Ugh, gross. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from here because of the fog and the rain. But the other side of the bridge that I'm looking at there is part of St. Helens Island and the Jean Drapeau. it didn't always used to exist in the early days, but it was islands that was actually built around 1967 when Montreal was hosting the World's Fair. And lo and behold, they were able to have enough gravel, dirt to build the islands, because this was around the time when they were digging up all of the lines for the original subway lines around here, which were a lot shorter back in 1967 than it is today, because there's actually a lot more. And they're still kind of building up on that too. Even here, the World's Fair was on this other part of this island here. See if I can get a good view. Yeah, we'll wait till later on. Spoiler alert, La Ronde, the amusement island in Montreal. All right, so one of the things that makes La Ronde, well, as they say in English, the round, one of the things that makes La Ronde unique is that, unlike a lot of other amusement parks that would be somewhere on the outskirts of town, La Ronde could claim that it's actually within the Montreal area, so very close to the city. It's kind of good for convenience to get to, because public transit and getting here is pretty simple. But the downside is, if ever they wanted to build some new rides around here, then they're very limited. They'd have to tear down rides if it's not in use or too old and dilapidated, and then build there. You're kind of limited to the space when you're basically only working around one single island. Not much you can really do. And it's hard to see from here. But there is going to be some leftover architecture from when they had the World's Fair, and in some cases up until like a few years ago, rides, believe it or not. There was one log ride here called La Pitoune, which also shares the same name of a beer made by La Trou du Diable that had been around since the fair in 1967. They tore it down after a while for maintenance reasons, I believe. It's a damn shame. And the other known factor, or like the other known ride, is the Monster. One of the few roller coasters made out of wood that's still around this day. Or someone in the comment section who knows the world better than me can correct me if there are any others. It makes a very distinct sound when the trains are going up the track. But because it's all wood, it does take a lot of maintenance to fix it up and then keep it running. I do wonder how long until they're going to tear that down. So, in case you're asking next, I've never been on it. I'm not a roller coaster guy. I'd get scared shitless probably at high speeds and tight turns. I don't need that. And it's one of the tamer roller coasters too. Some of these other rides around, ugh, you wouldn't catch me dead on that thing. Oh my, I forgot that the lake is emptied out this time of the year. Basically, that lake is mostly used for shows or whatever they're doing, like water skiing events, people jumping off high places because they're acrobatic. Professionals, not just random schmoes from the crowd. Something else unique about this bridge? Yeah, here I am talking about bridges like it's unique. It's not the Golden Gate Bridge, but, you know, it's got some stuff. During the summertime, there are certain times of the year that it is actually closed to vehicles that drive by. And the reason is that there's usually a fireworks display around here on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. So what they do is they close this area off so that pedestrians and other visitors can walk on here and get a really good view of the fireworks from the top and see. I kind of wonder if it's supposed to be doing with safety for that, because there's a lot of smoke when you're driving by. Maybe it's for safety, but pedestrians get the benefit from it. We get the good view of it. And I do remember there was some choices of music that were kind of funny to me. One which was that ABBA song, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man, leading right into Madonna's Hung Up. It's like they're trying to spell out for you, like, yeah, Madonna took a sample of ABBA, with their permission no less, so kind of tying it all together. There, maybe here you'll be able to get a better view of all this. Maybe. One day I'll be able to get, oh, interesting. So it looks like this part of the sidewalk is closed. Wow. So that means this part is closed. Luckily, the bike path looks like it's open. So I'm gonna have to go through this door in this tower that's gonna be connecting me from one end of the bridge to the other. This is probably yeah, this is probably going to be indoor stuff, so better get the face diaper on. Kind of cozy in here, isn't it? Well, at least let's have this for historical purposes. What it looks like is that they took some old photos from when this bridge was being constructed, then pasted them on here, kind of show the progress from start to finish, or the process. And then on this side, there's a couple of fun facts by the looks of it. I'm not going to sit here and read them all because I don't have time for that. But hey, if ever you want, it is doable. Wow, this thing is pretty high up in a massive structure. When you're driving along it, you don't really think much. Okay, I just have to open this door. Ugh. Diaper disengaged. Oh, man, these things are annoying to wear, especially if I have to wear glasses. But hey, there is some interesting stuff on this side of the woods. Not so much I could see from this part, but there is one castle that still seems to be standing. And there's also parts of the old biosphere, which if you had lived in the 70s, I want to say 1978, you would have remembered that that thing was actually covered in glass until a fire that took place that basically destroyed the thing. So all you really have left is the structure of it now. And then there might also be the casino too, which is a remnant from the old Expo 67 days. I've been in there before. It's a casino. 95% of the games that are over there are just slot machines, and on the upper floors are like all the card tables that, you know, what you expect to see when you're thinking of a casino. Like you want to be James Bond playing Baccarat or cribbage. What other kind of games did he play? Whatever the case, that's my memory of it. Oh yeah, there's also free coffee. Everybody loves free coffee. And from here you can see the downtown skyline to an extent, and the Molson Brewer. I don't know what they're going to be doing with this thing because the brewer actually changed locations to the St. Hubert Airport, not far from where I live. Probably easier for retail, rental space too. The old port I can see from here. I'm telling you, I got to come back here on a sunnier day. And we're getting to the bulk of the structure of the bridge here. So one of the things I also remember too was they actually installed lights on here to kind of light it up at nighttime. This was back when Canada was celebrating its 150th birthday in, I think it was 2017. And it seemed like what Montreal wanted to do was try to one-up them to get some tourists themselves. So what did they do? They decided to celebrate the 375th birthday of Montreal, which is not really a milestone, it just sounds like an arbitrary number. It's almost like if you're trying to celebrate birthday number 347, 285, maybe 666. Actually, that's a pretty evil one, so let's not speak of that. But it looks nice. The only thing is, I read that they spend like a good $40 million on lighting up the bridge. And in my mind, I'm thinking, really? You got construction here all the time. Some parts are dilapidated. Other things that get a little political that I'm not even going to get into now. And all you're going to be doing is spending all that money lighting up a bridge? Priorities. I guess sometimes if you get so rich, you don't know what to do with all your money. Even though it's taxpayer money that we all pay. Bunch of mutts. Okay, continuing my walk, I'm probably like 2/3 of the way, or at least approaching 2/3 of the way. Oh, so something that they've done recently too is they've actually added these extensions along the bridge where, well, let me give you a good view. It extends a little bit away here so I can get a good view of looking out from the rest of the lookout area here. So we even have social distancing places. Lovely. Yeah, I guess if you want to get yourself a good view from up here, you could. On a bike, or if you're walking around, so be it. And yes, I've seen a number of that too. People post this on Instagram from the bridge, or they're going to use it as their Tinder profile too. Really? I can walk a bridge. Please date me. That's like people saying that loving to travel is a personality trait, or your height is a personality trait. People, yes, we know you love to travel and you're an Epicurean. Now, tell me something interesting. Still can't believe it. $40 million to light up a bridge. I'm telling you, Denis Coderre at the time was really on a spending spree. I don't know how much debt he left the city in after trying to get through all that celebration. I did actually encounter him once at the Montreal Ukrainian Festival somewhere around that time. Yeah, it was also 2017. He was doing a little speech with them, and I don't know, because of how my mind works, I saw him doing that. I suddenly got flashbacks to Mayor Quimby from The Simpsons, minus the Kennedy accent. And if you know the Kennedy accent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I just got flashbacks to like Mayor Quimby presenting himself at some yard sale or any other event in Springfield. All that Coderre was missing was that sash that goes right up from here to the bottom that said Mayor on there. As if he needed to know who he was. Yeah, Denis Coderre and Simpsons. Only a guy like me can actually tie those two together. As you're probably noticing too, I'm sticking around mostly to the close to the center, not going to the edge to look down, because one thing I've learned, don't look down from up here. You are going to get kind of dizzy, maybe get vertigo, or have a panic attack, because you are pretty high up here. The CBC Radio Canada building is still up. Actually pretty much the tallest building in this part of the town. I'm going to say this is the sud-west or the southwest side of Montreal. Okay, hang on. And there we are. I am now right above the Montreal Island. I'm officially in Montreal. Hello, hooray, let the show begin. Right, that's an Alice Cooper song. I think one day I should use that for a gag. Go back to that poor man's Alice Cooper gag I was thinking about. What the? Maximum 20 kilometers. Really? Speed limits up here? I never would have guessed they'd be having speed limits for cyclists, especially the speed cyclists like the... I'm about to get some cheese in there. I better save it for something more worthy than just a speed limit. I'm away from the main structure, you can get a good view of the right-hand side of the city. So I got this building I remember seeing ages ago, and if you look carefully too, the bloody Olympic Stadium is still in the background. Oh yeah, it's ringing a bell. It's taking me back to my weekend last week when I did episode 101, and also did my little Don't You Want Me Baby wander. First time I tried shooting a music video. Getting to the home stretch very soon. I actually saw some guy on a motorized bike drive down here, and I can tell you, judging by the speed limit, there's no way he was going 20 kilometers an hour. Had to have been quicker than that. People, learn to drive, damn it. All right, I just finished crossing the rest of the bridge, so now I'm on ground level once again. And I'm not that far from Ontario Street when I was walking around during episode 101 and making my way to Hochelaga at that time. I could go back there again, but right now I'm just going to be continuing my wander, see where my legs take me, and possibly see where my tongue takes me. Okay, that sounds kind of wrong. And now I've made my way along Papineau Street. So this is the turning point I can make. I could either go south and go somewhere around downtown, or head on north and go to some of my usual hangouts that I've enjoyed seeing for the last little while. I'm kind of going with the latter, because I feel like downtown would be the best option for when it's a lot nicer and there's a bit more terraces open, because that's where all the action is. North it is. That was an easy argument to beat myself on. Salle à manger, servi avec repas. This must be remnants of an old restaurant. Interesting. Sometimes I find these other weird places around, but this one is a brand new one. A place that specializes in decorative skulls. Yeah, you see that stuff at Halloween all the time, but yeah, a store that's legit specializing and, you know, sells nothing but that. Huh. Jackpot, I guess. And in case you're wondering where I am, I'm back on Ontario Street, same spot I hit a week ago as I recorded episode 101. I'm gonna be changing up my route. One thing for certain, I am gonna need some coffee to get some fuel, because that was a long walk and I need some of a boost right now. Now where am I gonna get this? I did pass by a place that's called Valentina Cafe, where you could get some fancy coffees and maybe some thrifty dresses. Maybe I'll find something else. This place is called Dépanneur Snackzilla. So what is it exactly? Is it like some giant cookie that's about 50 feet high? It's going to be able to take on Godzilla if he ever rises from the sea? I guess you got to be prepared for any possibility. After some careful consideration, I decided I was going to wander my way back to Papineau Street. Now, what I'm right in front of is La Fontaine Park, which I talked about before, and I was even highlighted in my episode on going from the Plateau to Old Montreal. That was under construction back then. I think I'll save this for a nicer day, but in case you don't remember, it's one of the larger parks in Montreal. Probably not the biggest, because I think the biggest one is Maisonneuve Park in Hochelaga. Still haven't found my coffee shop yet. Eventually I'll get something. I need my bean juice. Yeah, they don't build churches like they used to. And you already know the punchline to that joke. So yeah, I'm on Rachel Street. I feel like I'm kind of getting deja vu because I'm actually wandering very similar to what I did last weekend. But hey, maybe I could get to some unexplored area I didn't do the last time. So, somehow continuing down Rachel, I made my way back to Papineau Avenue once again. And I had to check, it's Avenue, oh no, Delorme. I feel like I've been passing by Delorme and Papineau quite a bit. It's like zigzagging around there. I suppose this wander is going to be like that zigzag wander that Captain Beefheart had sung about. You know, how you're very, actually, what was that song about anyways? Doesn't make any sense to me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way a little further east and see what I can find along the way. So far, no shops. I think there's a couple of schools coming up. Nothing much, but if nothing else, it's a wander. So the funny thing is that I do have memories of walking along here in the past, and even then there were times when we were driving up to my grandmother's that we would have driven down here on occasion as opposed to going up Delorme or Papineau. I wouldn't recall the reason. There's not too much here that stands out to me, but once I pass by Frontenac Street, then I should be making my way very close to where the Angus, the old Angus yard used to be. And if you recall, I did highlight that during Rosemount Wander number 2. So maybe I'll look around, and I think I saw a good coffee shop there. That ought to give me the bean juice I need. So if you're to look around me here, this, as I mentioned a while back, is the old Angus shop for Canadian Pacific Railway. And once again, they changed a lot of the buildings over here, but they had maintained the facade so you get the sense of what it looked like when it was originally a railway. And even here, you can see that they actually did a bit of development around here. Brand new condos that don't match with the vibe of the area too. It's like a bit of the old and the new all combined together. Angus shop CPR, so if ever you need any proof this used to belong to CP, there it is. And this small building, when I passed by here, that small building looked to be some kind of a bistro. I don't know if it's open, but it does look kind of cozy. La Baraque, what's that? Cuisine à manger, or whatever it is. It looks cute and cozy, and I think I'm gonna want to go there one day and try it out. But that'll be for another day. And I think I remember my bearings. There is a coffee shop that's kind of close by here. It looked kind of cute. And I think it's a good opportunity to check it out here while I'm in the area. Very nice. One Americano with a bit of milk. It is a bit hot, but not so hot that it's going to scald my palate and tongue, thankfully. It's pretty cozy in there. For a little bit I saw, there's a lot of plants, vines hanging around, so it's very nice. And something I've been finding a lot with these kind of coffee shops is you can get some Quebec beers and even Quebec wines that are sold and bring them on home. And even then, one of the things I found pretty cool, I actually have some beers and some cider on tap that you can have for a drink. So around this neck of the woods, it's pretty common to find bars, cafes that are all together. It kind of makes me think back to some parts of Europe, or specifically Italy, because that's my big experience seeing that, is you would have a cafeteria, birreria, I think, and a gelateria. So you'd have like your cafeterias for coffee shops, you'd have your bars, and you have your ice cream stores. But the funny thing is that you could get your coffee in all of them, beer, ice cream, and it's like they're all one and the same. What's the difference between them? Pretty interesting. I guess it's supposed to go for a very European style, but I could dig that. So I'm just gonna probably get this thing drank, and I'll see where I go from here. I'm still just sitting outside the Angus yard, and I'm getting kind of close to Masson Street just like last time. Maybe I'll go there, maybe I won't. Still waiting and seeing. Well, everyone, so my wander had taken me back around Saint Michel Boulevard, around Masson, and then just hung around the plaza for a little bit for old time's sake. And by which I mean since last week, because I was there last week. Do you know what? I still love the area, and I'm still going to visit it from time to time. And now it's getting kind of late, and I figured, let's just take advantage of whatever daylight is left and do a little brewing and charring in the yard today. So what's on the beverage menu for tonight? Well, it's simple enough. It's a New England IPA, naturally, and it's a new one I found from, what brewer is it? Forge and Malt, or La Forge du Malt. So I guess you forge malt, just the same way you forge a sword, or an axe. That way you could take on goblins and orcs and everything in Middle-earth. It's a New England IPA, La Côtesse. And if you're to take a look at the cover here, there's a mermaid on here. I guess this gives you a mermaid extract, and then afterwards, you'd be singing Under the Sea, like you're some little crab that's trying to keep people under the sea. Yeah, that's a pretty bad joke. And yeah, I got the fire started here. I need it to just burn up a little bit, and I'm gonna do me a little bit of steak. So everyone, thanks for watching this latest edition of the Ronde Cheese Cafe. If you like what you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy my antics, wanders, and storytelling. And if you have any other ideas for future episodes, Just leave it in the comments section and I'll take a look, see what I could do. Cheers, everyone. Let's do this. I don't feel like I'm going to be living under the sea yet, but there could be a good chance I'll be growing scales after drinking this. Maybe I'll grow some gills, and then I'll be able to swim underwater, live with the fishies, maybe popularize the St. Lawrence seabed. No, actually, forget about that. Ugh, I think I need a bath.